welcome back to Unlikely. It is a big week in the world of All Elite Wrestling, all roads leading to AEW Full Gear this Saturday, November 23rd. You can catch it on pay-per-view. You can order it on Triller TV, our good friends at ppv.com, YouTube TV, and of course, you can catch AEW Dynamite every Wednesday night on TBS. And joining us to talk all about it is someone who I've been told is one of the nicest men in professional wrestling, which is kind of oxymoronic because it is wrestling, but I heard he's a great guy, and I'm very thankful to have him on the show. So ladies and gentlemen, Adam Cole is here. Adam, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, and thank you for that very nice intro. I hope I live up to it now. Now I got a lot of pressure on me.
Well, look, I hope my questions live up to your greatness in the ring, and I know we're going to get to wrestling, and I know you're doing a media day, so thank you for the time. But before we get to the wrestling, I know you're a man of a lot of different tastes, gaming included. But since you are in AEW, I'm trying to keep like corporate synergy when it comes to like Warner Brothers Discovery. Have you been watching The Penguin? Did you watch the finale? What did you think of it if you did?
I have not seen it, and I've been meaning to watch it, but because I hear it's awesome. So I've not seen it yet, though. I
don't think this is a spoiler, and I don't use this language a lot on the show, but it's so good that I am just going to say this as a heads up as you watch this. Just please be aware, the Penguin might be a bigger asshole than MJF.
Wow. Okay, that's saying. Now I definitely have to see this. I don't know if I believe you. I got to watch it to find out.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And look, like I said, I know that you're a huge gamer. I know that Halo holds a special place in your heart. Last weekend, 20th anniversary of Halo 2. So first off, let me see where you're at with this. Halo 2, best Halo of all time?
I'm not going to say Halo 2 is the best Halo of all time. It's Halo 2 is incredible. I think Halo 2 literally revolutionized online gaming on console. It's certainly one of the most important Halos. I think anyone who says Halo 2 is their favorite Halo of all time is very, very fair. But I actually split my favorites of Halo into two categories, one being the campaign and one being the multiplayer. Campaign, my favorite Halo of all time is Halo Reach. Absolutely love the Halo Reach campaign. And this might get some people to come after me with pitchforks, but my favorite Halo multiplayer is Halo 5. I absolutely loved the Halo 5 multiplayer. It's so good.
It's better than 3?
I liked it better than 3. And 3 is amazing. Now, here's the thing. Saying it's my favorite doesn't mean I dislike any of them.
No, 100%. It's like your favorite kid.
Yeah, right.
But we have a favorite kid or a favorite parent. We don't say it out loud. But we all know it's Halo 3. Halo 5, that is crazy. Okay, listen, everyone has an opinion. I'm not going to chastise you for it. You still love Halo, and that's evident. I just want to know, too, the Master Chief gear, the 117 gear that you came out of. And shout out to AEW, because Will Ospreay, obviously, with Assassin's Creed, now that I say it out loud. But how did that come to be? Like, were you talking, I don't know at the point, I don't think it was Bungie. At this point, it was Microsoft. But like, did you just do this on your own? Were there conversations? What was the inspiration? You were like, I have to do this.
Yeah, so I know a lot of the people at 343, a lot of the guys who work on Halo, which has been so cool. I've met and talked with Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, before, which is really, really cool. They know I'm such a huge Halo fan. So in this scenario, actually, all I did was shoot a message to some of the guys saying, like, hey, make sure you watch the AEW pay-per-view this week. I think you'll like the gear. So it was not communicated with them to like use it. I just decided to do it on my own. I knew it was my first AEW main event pay-per-view, wrestling for the AEW World Title. I wanted it to be something really special. And again, Halo means the world to me. So I thought I would do that. And the guys at 343 were really excited about it.
No, it's incredible. And my last gaming question, I know that you were lucky enough to be on set, be on camera, and make some appearances on G4. May it rest in power. Did you get to meet Adam Sessler, though?
Yes.
How was he? Splendid?
Great. Wonderful. The whole time at G4 was awesome.
And back in the day, you did have a crush on Morgan Webb, right? Like the rest of us?
course, like the rest of the world. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, this is fantastic. And as we get to the ring, I'm going to apologize if I'm all over the place, but first things first, since this is the first time that me and you have gotten a chance to talk, your debut, All Out 2021, to me is one of the coolest moments of the decade when it comes to wrestling. To me, it was a stamp on things are changing, and these are the way things are now. For you, when you're in Gorilla, when you're looking at the clock, knowing that this is coming up, like what was running through your head?
Oh my God. So much excitement and so much adrenaline, like to the point where I'm not kidding. My hands were shaking, and then walking up the steps, my knees were shaking. Like I was so amped up and so ready to go. And I think too, part of what made that so special is I think people had a feeling that maybe Bryan Danielson was going to show up, or they were like hoping for it. But I don't think anyone expected me to show up. So for us to do that back to back with Bryan, you just knew it was going to be a really special night. And of course, I'm back there hoping that the crowd is excited and amped up and ready to go. And fortunately, they were. Then they went wild when Bryan came out. It was one of my favorite nights of my career. But how I was feeling, just so much excitement and so much adrenaline.
No, it's like, if we're watching boxing, like you expect a knockout punch, and you guys were like, no, here's 3 knockout punches back to back to back, and you can't breathe. And now I want to fast forward to what's going on now here recently. And shout out to the good folks at the Takedown and Sports Illustrated. I know you did an interview with them about a month ago or a couple weeks ago. And I was kind of baffled. You were bringing up terms when it comes to your ankle, like I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, a cadaver bone. Correct?
That's correct.
You are the true dead man. This is not a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? I am curious, though, all jokes aside, with this injury, was there thoughts of like, I might have to call it quits? Or what was the thought process going through all of this stuff? Because obviously you also had the concussion. It's been a few years, but with a lot of stuff.
So the concussion was genuinely scary, where there was real question of if I was going to be able to come back. And then fortunately, I got the clearance from doctors that it was completely safe and it was fine, and I was able to return. So when this issue with the ankle happened, there was never a point where I felt like, okay, I'm going to retire, because I knew this was something that I could come back from. Now, as far as like mental discouragement, it was at an all-time high. I think I was more discouraged about the ankle than I was even about the concussions. The concussions was just worrisome at that point. But just coming back from that concussion injury for 6 months and then having this happen, it was just absolutely soul crushing. But to answer your question, no, there was never a point where I thought, okay, maybe I should stop wrestling. I'm nowhere near ready to accept the fact that my career is over. And I think I have a lot of my career left to give. So yeah, I was always confident I was going to come back.
And I can imagine in your head, you kind of have a WTF moment when you realized how you got the ankle injury. Like having it doesn't matter how you got it, but you're like, hey man, it always seems like it's the simplest stuff, which is a freak accident. I can imagine in your head, you're like, why did it have to be this?
Yeah, that was actually one of the first things I asked my surgeon, because I was convinced that there had to be like a pre-existing issue or something wrong with my ankle that I didn't know about. And she explained, she said that the 2 things that athletes deal with the most as far as just random freak accident injuries are shoulders and ankles. She's like, it could be the smallest thing, but sometimes the way the body works, just something crazy can happen. And that's exactly what happened. Just such a freak accident.
No, 100%. And, getting ready for this interview, I wanted to make sure I went back early in your career. And I think one of the cool things about AEW, especially right now, is kind of seeing the growth of people and knowing the history and the places and the rooms you guys have been, from small ass rooms to big ass venues like Wembley Stadium. And one of those guys is Swerve Strickland. And I remember hearing how much admiration he has for you, and to know that you guys are in this place where you're at today. Like, how cool is it, not even just with Swerve specifically, but to see kind of the impact that you guys are having right now with AEW?
Yeah, it's so cool with so many guys, specifically with Swerve. Like I remember meeting him when he first started training and thinking it was so cool that there was someone else from the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area who was getting into wrestling. And I remember seeing him for the first time and immediately, I know this is cliche, but I really mean it. I remember seeing him for the first time and going, oh, he's going to be really good. Like you just knew he had this vision. He was focused, unbelievably athletic. And it's just so cool to see his progress and see the way he's developed and grown. But yeah, whether it's me or other people I've worked alongside for over 16 years, it's really, really awesome to see where we all are now. It's pretty incredible.
And I can kind of flip this question when I'm talking about you seeing the growth of Swerve. I can imagine when you talk about a guy like Bryan Danielson, he feels kind of the same way watching your career. This is going to sound like very fanish, not that I'm an expert or in the business or anything, but when you get told that, hey, you're going to go over and you're going to beat Bryan Danielson, was that like in your head? Were you like, oh, okay, cool. Hey, that's how the show goes. Someone's got to win. Or like, what was your reaction to finding that out?
So that whole process was so surreal. Again, first of all, because that was the show where, a plane was stuck and I last minute had to get on a private plane and fly there. And we had a police escort to the building. And I saw him an hour before we were supposed to go out there. So that whole process happened so quickly. But I do remember standing in the ring in that main event against Bryan Danielson, and then looking outside the ring and you see Triple H and Shawn Michaels just sitting there and watching it. I'm like, what is life? It was just so wild because, again, I do really look up to and idolize Bryan, like so many from my generation. So yeah, it was pretty surreal and pretty wild, not only to get in there with him, but to beat him.
It's kind of crazy how the last minute things end up being like more iconic than things that are like, hey, we have this plan. And you talk about idolizing people. I know that you've spoken publicly, your admiration for Adam Copeland and how he's kind of been a mentor, and when he would make visits down at NXT. And I know he's recovering from an injury. We hope to see him soon. There's a lot of dream match scenarios still with this AEW roster and yourself. But I have to imagine that is at the top of the list.
Oh my God, yeah, easily. Again, I never in a million years thought I would get the chance to step into the ring with Adam Copeland, and I think now it's certainly possible. So as far as dream matches within AEW that I haven't had, even dream matches within pro wrestling that I haven't had, getting in there with Adam Copeland would be really, really cool, and very, very high on my list. I think the world of him.
What did you make? I know online there was a lot of conversation. How do I ask this as nicely as possible? The crowd reaction on some of your past matches on Dynamite. I think some people thought that it would go the other direction. Fans can do whatever they want when they go to the shows, but with Malachi and Buddy, what was kind of your reaction to hearing some of the things that they were saying?
So I didn't really hear anything that the fans were saying in regards to the internet goes.
Right.
I'm not quite as active on social media anymore. But as far as the live audience there, I thought the live audience was wonderful. I thought they were great for the matches, especially the one with Takeshita this past week.
Yes.
The crowd, the AEW fans are always so passionate and so fired up. So it was great to be able to have that feeling again. But in regards to anything the internet was saying, I'm not really aware of that.
Good. Stay away from it. Okay. We'll close out with these last two. Obviously, we're heading towards the new year. What's your goal when it comes to professional wrestling in 2025?
First and foremost, again, especially after this difficult road I've been on for 2 years, just to continue wrestling and doing what I love to do, no matter what that entails. Again, this job is a blessing. It's all I've ever wanted to do, and I'm so thankful for that. But specifically, again, I really want to go after the AEW World Championship. I think 2025 could be the year that Adam Cole becomes the AEW World Champion, and I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Incredible. And we'll close out with this. Since Thanksgiving is upon us here, what are you thankful for?
I am incredibly thankful for my family and the love and support they've shown me my entire life. I'm incredibly thankful for my friends who've supported me every step of the way. I'm incredibly thankful for the fans who have had my back for such a long time and let me do the job that I love the most, and that is pro wrestling, and also very thankful for pro wrestling. And most importantly, I'm very thankful for my health, feeling healthy and back to normal. Again, doing what I love to do is something that I'm thankful for every single day.
I think I speak for a lot of us that we're glad to have you back in the ring, Adam, where you belong and where we love to see you. You can catch him on Twitch, and you can catch him on AEW Full Gear. Again, November 23rd. Order it on our friends ppv.com, Triller TV, YouTube TV, and of course, every Wednesday night on TBS. Adam, thank you.
Hey, thank you, man. Pleasure talking to you.